I need you to stop making these mistakes with your Samsung camera right now. Let's go. After the success of the last camera mistakes video, I've come up with more. I've got another list of 5 things you need to stop doing when you're taking photos or videos with your Samsung. Like they record videos in portrait orientation instead of landscape. Technically, some of these can apply to sort of every smartphone, but there's a few that are Samsung specific. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of mistakes on their Samsung phone. The first one that I want to rectify is when you want to take a video, don't just take a video using the photo mode. Let me explain. There's a way in photo mode where if you long press on the shutter button, you can just start recording video. It's convenient and it's quick and it sort of gives you a nice, easy way to maybe snap a moment when you need to. Because of the fact that it's just in that photo sort of orientation, the 4:3 aspect ratio, it's not going to be the best quality when it ends up being output. Take a look. Now, recording videos from photo mode, what ends up happening is the video gets degraded in quality because the output is cropped to the 4:3 aspect ratio of the sensor. And yes, that is the native aspect ratio of the sensor, but it's not using its full 4K resolution. So it sort of crops the quality down. You can see the difference between this is using photo mode to record video, and then this is using 4K video mode to record video. There's a clear difference, not only in the aspect ratio, it's now 9:16, although this is not my preferred way to record, but just the fact that it actually gives you that full experience, but also the full native resolution gives you that sort of better, crisper detail. Also, you can see that in the file size difference. And you can see with the output resolution on both that there is actually a disparity between the one taken in photo mode and one in video mode. The photo mode one gives you basically just above full HD, and the other one is 4K. There is a difference in the crop because when you're in photo mode, it's zoomed out to the full aspect ratio of the sensor, and then in video mode, it crops into a middle part, but it gives you a 4K resolution in that bit that it's cropping into. So if you're intentionally taking a video, just flick it over to video and record in there because it's going to give you the better output, and you'd want better output if you're preserving a moment as opposed to just wanting to do something quickly. Obviously, if you want to do something quickly with a video, there's that option to quickly record from photo mode. I'm just saying if you have the option or if you have the time, flick it into video mode. Don't be lazy. Number 2 is when you're taking portrait shots using portrait mode, don't use the 1x option. Just don't. Portrait shots, the whole point of it is it's meant to capture this sort of nice aesthetic of a close-up. That's kind of what portrait photos are. It's getting in a little bit closer and then having a nice blurred backdrop behind you. That's how it was sort of made. When portrait mode originally came out on phones, you only could use the 2x telephoto camera to take them. Obviously, as time went on and software evolved, Samsung gave the option to use the 1x as well. But what the 1x doesn't really allow for is that nice clean portrait aesthetic. Especially if you're taking it from sort of far away, it doesn't look very good. What you're better off doing is taking a couple of steps back, hitting the 2x button and getting in closer with the zoom, because the 2x will just give you that more natural sort of portrait look. It's more visually appealing for a portrait to have the 2x. Obviously on the Ultra you have a 3x and a 5x option, but honestly I think the best thing to do would be to use that 2x in most situations. If you really need to, you've got that 5x. If you have the space, walk back and use it. Otherwise, the 2x will just give you the best solution. The difference is pretty neat when you can see the difference between a 1x one here, where you can sort of see a lot of the background behind me, versus the 2x one where it's kind of just isolating my face and there's still that nice backdrop. The 2x is the better option. Third one, and this might be a bit of a controversial one here because it's a feature on the phone that I've spoken about and sort of promoted, the 200 megapixels. That's on the S25 Ultra, the S24 Ultra, and the S23 Ultra. Don't use it. I shouldn't say don't use it ever, because there is absolutely specific moments where that will come in handy to utilize. If you're in like a nice sort of location, scenic location at that, and you've got a beautiful landscape you want to take a photo of, go ahead, take a 200 megapixel shot. You'll preserve that memory in really good detail. But if you're just going out and about taking photos out in the street, whether it be your food, whether it be your kids, whether it be just around the house, 200 megapixel just doesn't make sense for you to use. You're not doing anything with it. You're most likely just going to either upload it to Facebook or Instagram, which will just degrade that quality anyway. There's really no need to do it. Unless you really need to crop into the photo later, the 12 megapixel option gives you the best of everything. So my point being with this is the 200 megapixel mode takes time to switch to. You've got to go up to the top, switch to 200 megapixel or 50 for that matter. And then there's some processing involved with taking the photo as well. If you just need to snap a photo, leave it at 12. It's faster, uses less storage space as well. Even though 200 megapixel has got a good compression algorithm about it, it's still going to use more than just a 12 megapixel shot. So just use 12 megapixel. It's more than enough. Here's a fun fact for you. A 4K TV is 8 megapixels in resolution. So if you've got a big 98-inch 4K television and you're like, wow, look at that picture, that's an 8 megapixel picture that you're looking at. So why would you need bigger than that? So 12 is already bigger than that. That's enough, surely. Number 4, don't use the inbuilt filters and apply them before you've taken your shot. I just don't understand why you need this. Filters are a nice, easy way to quickly edit a photo, especially if you're uploading it to social media. You just whack a filter on it and it can change the photo instantly. But the problem I have with doing it before you take the shot is you get a bit of a warped perception of what the photo is as you're taking it. What you're better off doing, if you really like the idea of being able to edit and customize your photo, take it in Expert RAW or take it in Pro mode, and then you can tinker it yourself. That way, at least it's got a raw copy of the image that you can sort of tinker with however you like. Applying a filter over the top of a photo in photo mode before it's taken doesn't allow for that sort of raw to be captured. And then all you're getting is just that filtered shot, and it's not necessarily natural or what you're getting. So you're better off taking the photo normally and tinkering it later, because at least that way you get both versions. Again, a lot of these, before I go to this last one, are sort of personal preference to me, but I also genuinely believe that you could save yourself a lot of time by avoiding mistakes like this. Like using the filters before you take the photo, you might end up having to take 4 versions of that same photo because the filter made it look not what you wanted. So just take the original and deal with that later. Just my opinion. And number 5, I did see this floating around the comments and I've seen it all too often. If you're on like a holiday or if you're filming a nice family moment, don't film it in vertical. Like, don't film it like this. Film it like this. Horizontal is the way to film video. It just is. Like, I understand we're in an environment and world now where a lot of people are viewing short form content on your phone, but in future, when you are trying to maybe show a memory, or you want to sit down and show off a family holiday to your friends and your family, and you're casting it to a TV, imagine having to watch video after video after video on a big widescreen TV in vertical 9:16. It's not going to be great for the viewing experience. If you want to adapt it to social media for that vertical viewing, the great thing about filming in 4K in horizontal is that middle part is pretty much going to be around full HD anyway. So that resolution is going to be pretty good. And it's essentially not enough, but it's close enough to being what the camera would capture in this vertical format anyway. And with, editing and with AI where it can sort of track and motion track, you can get the stuff you want in the video anyway. So I always maintain record like this and then edit it later, because this will be better to view back on a TV or even just on your phone like this than what it will be like this. That one I am passionate about. Another mistake I see a lot of people make in regards to filming sort of vertical and then filming landscape is they start the video in vertical and then shift it to landscape whilst they're recording. That's probably a bigger sin than just filming in vertical in the first place, because then later the video is ruined because the phone has started in one orientation and then it's rotated through to another, and then it can't actually fix mid-recording which orientation it's meant to be. So when you watch it back later, you're watching a landscape video in vertical format
it's arguably the worst of the two sins, and I would probably put it ahead of what I've already said.
So this was just a short list of things I think you should not do, and then some guidance into what you should be doing instead. Make of it what you will. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Again, I welcome all of it. Don't be surprised if I comment back and saying why you should still do what I'm asking or suggesting, because I feel very strongly about some of these. But hit subscribe whilst you're down there, leaving a comment. Join as a member if you'd like as well, because I do like to post these videos a bit early, and you might get early access if you join. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Yoo!